New Jersey suing Glock. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What's up, Wolverines? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist that writes over at ammoland.com, and I'm also nominated for a Gundy for Top 2A Writer. Check out my work over at ammoland.com, and unlike certain other people, I am not going to pay you to vote for me. If you can do me a big favor, like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. And yes, I am a little bit bitter about that. Okay, we're going to be talking about what Matthew Placken, the AG of New Jersey, filed today in federal court. New Jersey is suing Glock because they claim a Glock can be converted into a machine gun within 10 seconds, and their source is a guy on the internet that goes by the Wolf Child on a bulletin board. Yes, that's who they used for all their information. A guy that posted on a bulletin board named the Wolf Child. No one knows who he is or what his expertise is, but since he says that a Glock can be converted into a machine gun in 10 seconds, New Jersey ran with it, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you read the briefing, you can understand that these guys have no idea how a gun functions. Let me give you an example of how dumb these guys are. They claim that if you hold down the trigger bar of a Glock, it will fire automatically. If you know anything about firearms, and if you are suing over a firearm, you better have experts on your side. You would know that's not how it works. Holding down the trigger bar would not cause the gun to fire automatically. It would actually cause a dead trigger, which is definitely not the same as a machine gun there. But yet, that is what they're going with because they don't understand how machine guns work and they don't understand how Glocks work. So they are doing this type of misinformation in their lawsuit to try to persuade a judge to decide against Glock. They're going to run into a couple legal hurdles on this case. One is being Heller. Heller said that you cannot ban guns that are in common use. Heller did give a little bit of a leeway, saying that you can ban unusual and dangerous weapons, unusual and dangerous, but it says any weapon that is in common use cannot be banned. You cannot claim that a Glock is not in common use. It is the most popular handgun brand in the country. Another case that they're going to run into issues with, and they tried to address in their complaint, is Bruin. Bruin said that any gun regulation has to be consistent with the text, tradition, and history of the Second Amendment. And New Jersey is claiming that they are consistent with the text, tradition, and history of the Second Amendment in this lawsuit. One of the things that they do cite is the NFA of 1934. They are citing that as tradition and history. The issue with that is it says text, tradition, and history from the founding era, which most legal scholars assume to be the ratification date of the Second Amendment, which is 1792. Although some on the left has tried to make the argument that the founding era should be considered the 14th Amendment ratification date, which is 1868. During the Reconstruction period after the Civil War, most courts have rejected that. The reason why they want to use that, because after the Civil War, there was a bunch of Jim Crow laws to prevent freed black people from getting guns. The courts, most of them have rejected that, and all of them have rejected that anything in the 20th century to be relevant to history and tradition of the Second Amendment because it's too far removed from either date. And 1934 is definitely way too far away from that date. This should say that the Bruin defense that New Jersey is putting up will fail because there's no court in the country that is going to consider 1934, when the NFA was passed, as historically relevant to the Second Amendment. They should lose on that front. Another issue that the states, because it's not only New Jersey, it's also Minnesota. I didn't mention that earlier, but Minnesota is joining in on the lawsuit. They claim that Glocks are too customizable. Yes, who wants a customizable gun? Because a Glock is customizable, they say that they should be able to ban it. I think that they're going to run into another issue being the PLCAA, which is the Protection of Lawful Arms and Commerce Act. Can't say that really too well, so I'm just going to leave it at that or call it the PLCAA. We'll have to see what happens with that because gun manufacturers should not be able to be sued for misdeeds done with their products, but yet it seems like New Jersey and Minnesota are trying to do just that. They are trying to sue Glock out of business or prevent them from selling in the United States, which I think is going to fail. The reason why they are targeting Glock, like I said, they are the largest and most popular handgun manufacturer in the world, so they are going after the king of the hill. I wonder what Kamala Harris thinks. She said that she loves her Glock and she owns a Glock. So I wonder what she thinks. I did reach out for comment, but I have not heard anything back. But if she is a woman of her word, she's going to stand up for Glock and say, you cannot ban this handgun because I love mine. But we'll have to see what happens there because a lot of people on that side of the aisle believe what is good for me is not good for you. And they want to do what they want to do while trampling on your God-given right to bear arms. In all honesty, I do not believe that they think that they're going to win this case. What they are doing is using taxpayers' money to launch expensive legal cases against companies to make it impossible for them to do business in the United States without paying an extraordinary amount of legal fees. If they don't get Glock shut down or run them out of the country, what they are hoping to do is raise prices on handguns because you got to remember they don't care about rich people getting guns. Who they care about getting guns are the people that need them the most, the people that live in high crime impoverished areas. So their goal is to make guns more expensive than they already are. This is not about making us safer. It is about taking away the means of resistance from the people. They want to control you, and you cannot control a armed population. It is as simple as that. It is not about the gun. It is about the control. And that is their end goal, is to control you, to control me, and to control anyone that does not think the way they think because they are members of a hive mind and they want to assimilate us into the hive mind. But as long as we have the means of self-defense, they cannot do that. All right, guys, that is it. I'm going to get out of here. Stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keep in the fight. I am out of here. Wolverines MFers.